In this video, we're going to talk about another way of storing multiple values of data in something called data frames. So we often store data in real life in tables, and R, like many programming languages, has a way of representing data internally in tables. Now, typically in tables, each column of a table will represent some sort of measurement, which we also call a variable. Now, the confusing thing here is that that's different to the variables that we create to store data in R. So I will sometimes make the distinction between an R variable and a column variable from a table, but sometimes I won't explicitly make the distinction and you'll have to infer it from context. Each row of the table then represents a particular thing that each of the measurements of those variables were taken from. So in this example here, for example, we've got three columns, right? ID, measurement A, and measurement B. Those are three variables. And then we've got two rows of data. Each of these represents a particular thing, right? So we have the thing with the ID S1 and we have the thing with the ID S2. I just made these values up so they don't actually represent anything in real life. And then we've got measurements from each of those two things, right? Each corresponding to some particular variable. So in R, we store tables of data like this in data frames. And here I have created the same table from the previous slide as an R data frame, and I've stored it in a variable called df. So this code here prints out the contents of whatever's stored in the variable df, and you can see it's the same table from the previous slide. We'll spend a lot of time learning how to work with data frames. But one thing to note at this point is that R has a method for getting a column of data out of a data frame, and that's using this dollar symbol here, which is another operator. So if we type in the variable name of the data frame, then the dollar symbol, and then the name of the column, we will get the values of that column returned to us. Right, so we get the two values from the ID column, S1 and S2, and the result is a vector. Right? This is a vector of two character strings. The reason it's a vector is because internally R basically treats the columns of a data frame as vectors. That means that the same limitations on vectors apply to the columns of data frames. So a column of a data frame, for example, can only contain one particular type of data. It can only contain numbers, or it could only contain character strings, or it could only contain logical values, etc. You can't mix and match different types of values in the same data frame column.